8 years ago, I married a mute wife, despite my family's objections. 8 years later, a fire broke out at home. I rushed into the flames without hesitation to save her. But to protect a wooden puppet, she pushed me back into the fire. Until I heard the voice recording she treasured for years. Ningbing, just pretend to be mute. Just do it for my sake, okay? He will definitely like you. Listening to the recording kept by Ningbing in the beloved folder. I felt like I was thrown into an ice cellar. It turns out that from beginning to end, what I thought was love at first sight was entirely premeditated. I looked at the one who still refuses to speak, Ningbing, who is still covering for that beast. My heart throbbed with pain. But on the day I made up my mind to leave Ningbing, I received a strange phone call. Yuan, don't leave me. I only have you left. On the 7th day of my hospitalization for injuries, Ningbing still hadn't come to see me. I blankly looked at the thing. In my hand, that incredibly exquisite puppet, looking at that familiar face on it. I just felt my heart suddenly drop into an ice cellar. No one is more familiar with his face than me. After all, I entangled and fought with him for a long time. Before I could keep Ningbing by my side, before I could put down the thing in my hand, Ningbing suddenly burst in from outside. She looked at me in panic, frowning and glancing at the puppet in my hand, as if questioning me. Without any regard for my physical condition, Fang Yuan, why did you secretly bring it here? Don't you know how long I searched for it at home? Ningbing panted heavily, anxiously making some whimpering sounds. As she spoke, she tried to snatch that doll from my hand. Sure enough, it was for this puppet. Otherwise, she would have probably already taken this doll to go see that beast, to celebrate his birthday. Why would she come to see me? The rushing doctor was startled to see this scene. I held on desperately and wouldn't let go. I was actually dragged up from the hospital bed by her. Seeing that I was about to fall off, "What are you doing?" The nurse's shout came. I looked at Ningbing, who was still wrestling with me, and finally smiled self-deprecatingly. I let go of my hand. She successfully got that puppet. I also suddenly fell from the bed. It really hurt. At this time, the pain in my heart actually weakened. Ningbing stared at the puppet in her hand in a daze. A bit of panic appeared in her eyes. She glanced at me, as if reacting to what happened. She reached out to help me up, but I dodged sideways. Her hand froze in the air for a moment. She could only awkwardly retract it. The doctor angrily reprimanded her on the side, telling Ningbing she shouldn't have made me angry. Seeing that she was a mute, he could only give up. Stop making a fuss. Let's just let this matter pass, okay? I promised you. I will definitely make a new one for you. Before Ningbing could finish her slow and dawdling sign language, I grabbed a nearby cup and smashed it at her. Hearing this ridiculous promise again now, I only feel extremely disgusted. Ningbing, where's the promised gift? When the two of us were at a stalemate in the ward, that beast suddenly appeared at the door, looking at Ningbing with a rather proud look. Then he showed a surprised expression, as if he had just noticed my presence. Oh, isn't this Fang Yuan? Why, after not seeing you for so many years, have you turned into this miserable state? More and more people's voices came from outside the door. Former colleagues who worked together actually all came here. Seeing my miserable state now, they all widened their eyes in astonishment. Haven't you realized it yet? This is clearly intentional by that beast. Speaking of which, Fang Yuan is really pitiful, falling in love with an ungrateful wretch. Hearing this, I understood everything. I looked at the pale-faced Ningbing. She handed the doll to that beast with trembling hands. It's me. Her expectant eyes had already revealed everything. It was all a scam. That beast tossed the doll aside in disgust, and immediately started to mock me again, trying to show in every way that I am inferior to him now. I am also no longer that little sunshine boy who liked to uphold justice. All of you, get out. I closed my eyes, ignoring their true or false comforts, and asked the doctor to call the security to chase them all away. I don't want you to keep being deceived. I recovered groggily, and upon returning home, I received this text message, the Longatoftuk. Lin Chian suddenly sent an entire old recording to me. In the recording was the beast's deep and doting laughter, and the most familiar voice made by Ningbing. Ningbing, as long as you stay with him, he'll accept your gift. We grew up together since childhood, and he likes you so much. Just do me this favor, okay? Anyway, it's no loss for you. Okay, I promise you. My heart gradually turned cold, listening to that gentle female voice. Before I knew it, my face was covered in tears. For these 8 years, because of one word from that beast, she never spoke a single word again. As the voice played, my heart grew colder and colder, even colder than when Ningbing abandoned me in the fire. It turns out that from the very beginning, when she said she liked me, she was just lying to me. I looked at our wedding photo hanging on the wall, remembered our previous vows, and turned to throw the phone at the picture frame, smashing it to pieces. Ningbing was startled when she entered and saw this scene. Startled, but she kept a straight face, thinking I would still run over to coax her like before. But I just sat silently on the sofa, without saying a word. Today was an accident. I really wanted to go see you. How's your hand? She finally seemed unable to hold back and started signing to me. When I lowered my head and didn't look at her, she acted out a one-person show in vain. Her hands were sore, but she didn't dare to put them down. She looked at me with that pitiful look again. People who can't speak shouldn't make random noises either. It's harsh on the ears. I spoke coldly, leaving Bai Ningbing standing there with a stiff expression. The hand that wanted to bandage my wound was also scared back. I had never used her inability to speak as an issue to deliberately mock her. This was the first time. Thinking of the person I had liked for over 10 years disgusting me so much, I closed my eyes in annoyance and stopped looking at her. Zhao Wang Yim going back to the studio. I won't care about Bai Ningbing's side anymore. Boss, you're finally back. You're finally willing to let go of Bai Ningbing? Wang Teng, with heavy dark circles under his eyes, ran excitedly to my side to pour out his grievances. Hearing me say that beast, his expression also became a bit ugly. I looked at the trophies and design blueprints in the studio. I just felt like a lifetime had passed, so these years. I threw myself completely into Bai Ningbing and forgot the former. Me completely, I grew up with that beast. But we disliked each other. I couldn't stand him always bullying the mute Bai Ningbing when he deliberately ordered. By ninging around, making her buy things in the heavy rain, I was furious. I went up and grabbed Bai Ningbing's hand. Are you stupid? He tells you to do anything, and you do it. You're mute, not blind, but looking at Bai Ningbing's wet eyes. My heart inexplicably skipped a beat. I wiped the rain off my face in frustration, forgetting that this person is really a little mute. Bai Ningbing just looked at me blankly, not expressing any impatience, just nodded obediently, revealing a gentle smile. Even after I married her and was with her for many years, I had never forgotten that scene. I gave up my original dream, just to help Bai Ningbing succeed. Now it seems, these things were a scam from the start. It was just that beast deliberately using her to take revenge on me. Thinking of this, I sighed, looked at Wang Teng and smiled. Am not leaving. This time I will definitely advance and retreat with everyone. Returning to a working state is very tiring but very fulfilling. But if it wasn't for seeing Bai Ningbing again, my mood would be better. Why aren't you going home yet? Bai Ningbing's eyes were full of exhaustion, acting as if she was really sad for me, anxiously gesturing to me. I ignored her, just like those people who deliberately ignored her before. I left her hanging aside, only focusing on talking with other people in the studio. The people around looked at Bai Ningbing with strange eyes, unable to understand what this mute wanted to say. Someone even guessed if she was a beggar. Hearing this, I glanced at her clothes, torn from the fall. My heart was completely calm. I used to feel sorry for her, and was willing to stand up for her. But now, I won't be that clown anymore. It's meaningless. A yuan. Old friends gathering together, and Bai Ningbing is here too. That beast appeared here at some unknown time, looking at me with a teasing look. I frowned and looked at Bai Ningbing. She immediately widened her eyes, waving her hands helplessly, trying to clear herself of any connection. She didn't call him over. That beast, quite well. I looked at the message Lin Chian suddenly sent me again. My heart grew 3 degrees colder. But I looked at the two people in front of me with a normal expression. Beast, your girlfriend will come too, right? Besides the 3 of us, many of our former classmates and friends also came. They looked at the 3 of us teasingly, joking about my epic feat back then. Finally, lovers got married. But back then, wasn't it Bai Ningbing who liked that beast? I don't know whose inappropriate remark it was that made everyone fall silent. Watching the 3 of us with expressions of enjoying a good show. What a great show. How long are you going to keep pretending? I looked at Bai Ningbing and chuckled lightly. I don't care who she likes. Anyway, I don't want this mute anymore now. A fool who only knows how to play with wood. Everyone present went quiet. Before, many people, because Bai Ningbing and I were together, even laughed at me, saying I was doing poverty alleviation and being a savior. On the contrary, Bai Ningbing always hid aside, while I charged forward on the front lines for her. Now this scene is fresh. Bai Ningbing stood awkwardly, facing the crowd's laughter, looking at me helplessly. Why are you looking at me? I looked at that beast. Seeing him impatiently dodge Bai Ningbing too, I couldn't help but sneer. That's not right. I remember that beast also had feelings for Bai Ningbing. How about letting Shen Yuchu also listen to your sweet words? Or maybe let her see what Bai Ningbing kept for that beast for so many years, that puppet. As soon as these words came out, everyone gasped. They didn't expect to see such a good show. Everyone looked at me with varying expressions. Shen Yuchu, who had been silent on the side, also changed her expression at this moment. What did you say? Beast, you don't still have contact with that mute, do you? And what is going on with that wood carving? I let out a snort of laughter. Watching that beast's ugly expression, I deliberately took out my phone, wanting to play that recording. What are you trying to do? Don't you dare try to frame me? Who doesn't know you've always been jealous of me? You married a mute yourself, and couldn't compare to me. Now, you want to come and destroy my life? That beast was flustered and exasperated, screaming and running towards me, as if he didn't know where I got the recording in my hand. But in the next second, when he grabbed my clothes, the blankly sitting by Ningbing suddenly stood up. With unknown strength, she separated me and that beast. She checked the red marks on my neck with an anxious face. Using sign language to ask if I was okay, I dodged her hand. Coldly turned my eyes away, not looking at her. What else did Bai Ningbing want to do? But Shen Yuchu was already furious and kicked Bai Ningbing's calf from behind, making her instantly fall to her knees. I was wondering why that beast suddenly called you two. So his target was you. You mute still want to climb the social ladder. The others showed mocking smiles at Bai Ningbing. Even though she was a mute, back then she was aloof and had good grades, and was protected by me. So on the surface, everyone maintained the required peace and respect. But now they're not pretending anymore. Their eyes were full of contempt and disdain, still acting all aloof like back in the day. I listened to the mocking voice from someone in the crowd, looked at Bai Ningbing, who was beaten and couldn't even talk back. The foul anger of being deceived in my heart was finally relieved a bit. Sorry. It seems I came at a bad time. Everyone looked in surprise. At the door, the person walking in was exactly Lin Qian, I unsurprisingly raised my eyebrows and looked at her, expressing my gratitude for her telling me the news. Gratitude. But Lin Qian looked disappointedly at the ground at Bai Ningbing Lin Qian, who usually didn't attend such events. Once she arrived, no one cared about the gossip here anymore. They all gathered around, wanting to network with this young lady. Don't be angry, Ayuan. Those are all past. Things I only have you in my heart. I only like you. Just let go of the grudge with that beast. Still doing it for that beast, huh? Even now, you won't tell me the truth. I watched Bai Ningbing, constantly showing her loyalty to me, and found it incredibly laughable. I forced a smile, twitched the corners of my mouth, and nodded, completely giving up hope. Under her joyful gaze, I walked up and hugged Bai Ningbing. It's fine, it's completely fine now. Goodbye, Ningbing. In going to the studio first? Bai Ningbing hugged me tightly with great joy, nodded vigorously, and refused to let go for a long time. I don't know why. I just feel like you won't ever come back. Bai Ningbing, carefully signed, looking at me with full of unease. I paused, shook my head, turned around, and left. Upon going out, I saw Lin Qian, who had been waiting for me for a long time. I waited for you for a long time. I helped you so much. Old friend, how are you going to thank me? She looked at me with a beaming smile and waved at me. I gave her a helpless look. Didn't respond to Lin Qian's words, and directly booked a flight to go abroad. The next day, I prepared all the divorce documents, mailed a copy to Bai Ningbing, and then spread the news that the whole studio was relocating. In the past, it was because of Bai Ningbing that I had been holding off on making this decision. Now that this burden is gone, what do I have to worry about? Sure enough, as I expected, the news of me abandoning Bai Ningbing spread immediately. The once proud Bai Ningbing had now become a target of everyone's disgust, talking about how that beast and I fought fiercely over Bai Ningbing. Everyone sighed. I waited for Bai Ningbing's reply, but after a long time, I only received a voice call. I was stunned. From the other end of the phone came a soft female voice, a voice I had never heard before, but it felt incredibly familiar. Ayuan, don't abandon me. I only have you left. You are finally willing to reveal this secret. I thought you wanted to keep it a secret forever for your beloved beast. I closed my eyes, finding it utterly ridiculous. I thought back to the surprise and disbelief when I first saw Lin Qian tell me this news, to now, when Bai Ningbing finally admitted it. Without my support, Bai Ningbing's design exhibition immediately fell through. The organizers were no longer willing to deal with this person who had nothing left. Let me put it bluntly. If it weren't for your husband, we wouldn't have accepted your previous works either. Your works from back then are already outdated. Miss Bai, I advise you to look out for yourself. Taking the gap of coming back to handle procedures, I returned to this home again. Looking at Bai Ningbing, whom I haven't seen for a long time, I stood aside and listened to their conversation, seeing Bai Ningbing's eyes turned shocked and disbelieving. She was still holding some newly made wooden puppets, wanting to beg for some opportunities. Oh, Teacher Fang. The organizer immediately changed his expression upon seeing me and walked towards me beaming with joy. The people around also ignored Bai Ningbing. After all, back then for a beast's goal, she gave up a lot of her own career and had me help settle everything. Now that she wants to go back again, they no longer buy it. I threw away that puppet, Ayuan. In making a puppet for you right now, haven't you always wanted one? There were many scratches on her hands. It seemed she really put a lot of thought into it. The thing I desperately wanted before. Now, I can get it easily. But I don't want it anymore. Bai Ningbing, you really have some nerve. To actually dare to delete me? That beast ran over angrily. Seeing me here, his expression froze for a moment, then immediately revealed a contemptuous look. What, jealous? Your wife specifically for me. Pretended to be mute for years to deceive you, just to vent my anger. I nodded, smiled indifferently. casually took out my phone and stopped recording, and ignored this despicable couple. Turning around, ready to walk into the house, on the other side, Bai Ningbing's face was red. She shoved the beast away and chased me inside, endlessly explaining to me about genius carpenter deceives husband for a third party. The next day's headlines spread all over the internet. Genius carpenter deceives husband for a third party, kicking the popular internet-famous beast into the mud all at once. Those who were Bai Ningbing's fans before all turned into antiphons instantly, clamoring to return all those puppets. For a time, the storm online was huge, and some even came to find Bai Ningbing to scold her to her face. I could also see various hate posts about her, those previously sold. Puppets were now discarded by everyone who felt it was bad luck. Congratulations, boss. The beast is also divorced now. You really killed two birds with one stone. Wang Tang smiled while looking at the news. Recently, the studio developed. Well, his mood also improved a lot. That beast has been competing with me his whole life, suddenly being completely suppressed by me. Unable to turn things around, he was almost driven crazy by anger. When I saw him at the studio, I was not surprised at all. He walked over, just about to curse at me, but I slapped him across the face. The slap is for the one I took for Bai Ningbing back then. Now returning it to you. Before the beast could react, I slapped him again with another slap. This slap is what you owe me. His face was red and swollen, letting out an unwilling yell, muttering almost insanely. Why is it always you? Since childhood, I was the one blocking in front of her. Fang Yuan, I turned my head and saw Bai Ningbing, who had disappeared for a long time. She frowned tightly, looking at me out of breath. Seeing that I was fine, she finally breathed a sigh of relief. Who knew Bai Ningbing actually came too? He looked at me with a gloomy expression. Bai Ningbing, you bitch. You betrayed me too. The beast let out a roar, probably thinking Bai Ningbing was still that pushover, and wanted to vent all his anger on her. Who knew Bai Ningbing just kept staring at me, completely ignoring the beast's curses. What a bunch of lunatics. I was extremely annoyed in my heart, not knowing what kind of sin I committed to encounter so many terrible people in this life. Lin Qian, it must be you. That made a Yuan reject me. He obviously loved me the most. No one in this life will love me more than him. Bai Ningbing's voice was airy, as if she hadn't adapted to speaking yet. Raising the corners of her mouth, she looked at me obsessively. On the contrary, Lin Qian's expression became more gloomy. She blocked in front of me, to stop Bai Ningbing from continuing to look at me. I subconsciously took a few steps back, wanting to distance myself from these lunatics. Who knew? Suddenly an arm pressed against my neck. A cold, sharp sensation suddenly landed on my neck. The beast's sinister voice came from my ear. Crap, I forgot there was another lunatic here. Fang Yuan, do you know? I've been most jealous of you since childhood, and hated you the most. Actually, I don't love any of them. But as long as it makes you uncomfortable, makes you suffer, I am willing to do it. Now, why don't we die together? This way, I won't lose out. I broke out in a cold sweat. The passersby who recognized us were also terrified, and quickly hid far away, muttering our names in their mouths. But this only stimulated the beast even more. You guys shut up. You don't understand me at all? The beast yelled at the passersby again. Seeing them raise their phones to record videos, his anger immediately flared up from his heart. Along with the knife, it almost poked into my neck. I forcibly endured the pain and fear, found the right opportunity, and suddenly pushed the beast away. Lin Qian also took the chance to kick the knife away and pinned the crazy beast to the ground. She looked at me with eyes full of tears, but unwilling as she was, it could only be like this. Hearing the sound of the police car, he could only powerlessly close his eyes. Carrying some resentment and unwillingness, and having no other choice, you have quite a lot of rotten luck in romance, Lin Qian said jokingly. Rubbing her aching shoulder, she then turned to look at Bai Ningbing. Your ex-wife doesn't look like a normal person either. I looked into Bai Ningbing's eyes, and suddenly had a bad premonition in my heart. I hadn't even caught my breath from the fight with the beast just now, but I understand Bai Ningbing's paranoia the best. Thinking of this, the hairs all over my body stood up, and I involuntarily held Lin Qian's hand. For several days after going back, I always dreamed of Bai Ningbing. Sometimes it was her during our school days. Sometimes it was the scene of her staring dead at me. And for many consecutive days, I received many express packages. But the things inside were all puppet dolls without exception, and they all had my face. Once, I deeply expected that Bai Ningbing would also treat me with heart and make a puppet for me too. But receiving these today, I only feel disgusted and terrified. Late affection is as disgusting as eating a fly. It was still raining heavily outside. I opened the express box at the door. Unsurprisingly, inside was still a doll of me. Its expression and appearance were all lifelike. I frowned, forcibly suppressed the discomfort in my heart, and threw it into the nearby trash can. Suddenly, I heard footsteps coming from the rain. When I lifted my head, I saw in the rain Bai Ningbing, who had stood there for an unknown amount of time, staring dead at me and walking towards me. Is the one I made not good looking? It's okay if you don't like this one. I can make more other ones to give to you. Bai Ningbing looked at me with smiling eyes, revealing a smile. Not blaming me for why I threw away those puppets. Just talking to herself. Still holding a newly carved puppet in her hand. It was the likeness of the two of us. She looked affectionately at the puppet in her hand, wanting to hand it to me. Will you like this one? I started making this one a long time ago. Even earlier than the one for that beast. I couldn't help but freeze, looking at that puppet with mixed feelings. The moment she touched my hand, I let go of my hand as if electrocuted. The puppet immediately fell to the ground, covered in dirty, muddy water. Forget it, Bai Ningbing. We are already divorced. You just can't adapt to having no one spoiling you anymore. Who you make puppets for in the future, or whether you continue to make puppets. I don't care anymore. No, Bai Ningbing suddenly interrupted me. She knelt on the ground full of muddy water, picked up that puppet, and yelled at me, breaking down. Suddenly raising her voice, her eyes nearly insane. Then what should I do? How can I make you believe that the one I love is you? I looked at Bai Ningbing, who used to be as aloof as the bright moon, now covered in dirty water, looking at me wretchedly. Take those pieces of trash back. What broken puppets? Get the hell out of here. Don't come harass our boss anymore. Pa, you cheating woman, having the nerve to beg for forgiveness after what you did. Wang Teng was woken up, walked over furiously, shut Bai Ningbing outside the door, constantly cursing Bai Ningbing, and pulled me into the house. From outside the door came Bai Ningbing's painful crying again, mixing into the wind of the rainy night, sounding somewhat eerie. I could only devote myself completely to the studio, busy connecting with clients. In order to erase that day's scene from my mind, I really owed them in my past life, boss. Stop looking at the examples. That woman is starting her stunts again. Wang Tang hesitatingly handed me his phone to see. My heart suddenly skipped a beat. Sure enough, I saw a new news headline. The former beautiful carpenter is suddenly live streaming. Although her reputation is not as good as before, and she's deeply mired in bad reviews about being a sugar baby. But as long as she has her face, she has her empire. She's still pushed this popularity to the highest level. I rubbed my temples, feeling an intense headache. Bai Ningbing's aloof flower persona was very popular before. Now that she is live streaming, there are naturally many people online. Although there are many people scolding her in the comment section below, I guess you must be watching a Yuan. She smiled at the camera, but it felt like she made eye contact with me. She hugged that already dirty wooden puppet, telling her longing over and over to the camera. But if it's not like this, I guess you won't see me. The comment section immediately boiled over, but Bai Ningbing just smiled and confessed to the camera. If a Yuan is unwilling to see me, then I have no choice but to really become a mute. Maybe then he will feel sorry for me again and forgive me. She suddenly laughed out loud, as if she had thought of a good idea. Right? A Yuan took me away just like that back then? So it will definitely work this time too. What does she want to do? Wang Tang and I were both frightened by her. There were people stirring up trouble in the comments, telling Bai Ningbing to take pills and self-harm, and many people started feeling sorry for Bai Ningbing, telling me not to hold on to my pride and make up quickly. She has already gone to this extent. What else is there that can't be forgiven? Don't just talk without doing it. If you have the guts, really do it. I just felt a big headache. These passers-by comments made my anger surge even more. I picked up my clothes and walked straight out. Behind me, Wang Tang stared at the live stream, unable to speak at this moment. Bai Ningbing, what exactly do you want to do? Bai Ningbing happily opened the door. Seeing that it was me, she immediately revealed a happy expression. The live stream was already turned off. She looked at me with bright eyes, as if claiming credit, a Yuan. What do you think of my proposal? I didn't speak. I just directly slapped Bai Ningbing, trying to slap her awake. Do you think relying on this live stream to ruin everything for both of us can bring everything back to the past? I said fiercely, having long lost the initial pity for the person in front of me. Looking at it this way, you really are a perfect match with that beast, that lunatic. It was me who delayed your marriage. Hearing these words, Bai Ningbing suddenly got angry, like a wild cat whose tail was stepped on. Extremely angry, grabbing my hand, saying over and over, no, it's not. He and I are not. We are the married couple. Please don't say these things, okay? I tried hard to pull my hand back from Bai Ningbing. During the pulling, I saw fresh blood flowing from the corner of her mouth. Bai Ningbing, you're crazy. What did you exactly eat? Bai Ningbing wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth, gradually revealing a crazy look again. She actually laughed out loud. If I really can't speak anymore, a Yuan can come back to my side, right? The smile on the corner of her mouth gradually expanded. She let go of my hand and took out that pair of puppets again, sitting on the ground, letting the bloodstains fall onto the puppets' faces, drop by drop, looking exceptionally horrifying. What should I do if she is really injured or dies? Then I can't absolve myself no matter what. A Yuan Lin, Chai-in, panting heavily, suddenly appeared here tightly, frowning as she looked at Bai Ningbing. Hearing the ambulance's sound, my hanging heart finally settled down, Watching the doctor's take by Ningbing away, I finally came to my senses, breathing heavily if I hadn't been keeping an eye out. I really don't know what would have happened. Lin Qian's eyes looked gloomily at my red, squeezed wrist, and then she revealed a brilliant smile. But it's fine, thankfully. I arrived in time, otherwise you'd be miserably harmed by that lunatic. Over. Fortunately, Bai Ningbing was fine in the end. Although there was a small storm, it ultimately didn't involve the studio. Only then did I feel a bit more at ease. Bai Ningbing was taken back by her parents for medical treatment. Beijing suddenly became much quieter. I lay on the sofa, feeling a wave of peace in my heart. Everything from before dissipated like clouds and smoke. Old classmate, you aren't working today. Can't you come keep me company? Lin Qian kept running to my house, occasionally bringing some delicious food over. Watching her act cute, I couldn't help but feel like teasing her. You were so well behaved now. When you revealed Bai Ningbing and the beast to me before, I didn't see you being this cute and obedient. She pulled back her smile, leaned over and kissed my wrist. Wanting to be with the person I've liked since my youth, I have to use a little trickery. Otherwise, how could I justify the pain of lovesickness all these years? A slight coolness came from where her lips passed, instantly itching right to the bottom of my heart, causing my heart rate to speed up. I withdrew my hand like getting an electric shock, pretending to look calm. How come I didn't realize Lin Qian was so good at flirting before? Listening to her barely suppressed laughter, I got momentarily annoyed and hit her forcefully. Stop laughing. What are you laughing at? Lin Qian's laughter could no longer be held back. She didn't dodge my fists either, just smiled while taking the hits. Her clear laughter instantly spread to every corner of the house. The endless rainy season finally stopped. Sunlight penetrated and fell from the clouds. From now on, there are only good days. The profound moral of the narrative lies in the irreversible destruction wrought by calculated emotional deceit and the vital triumph of reclaiming one's self-worth from a toxic relationship. Through the painful unraveling of a marriage built upon a cruel, years-long facade, the story demonstrates that unconditional devotion and selfless sacrifices must never be taken for granted or exploited as tools for manipulation. When affection is weaponized to satisfy ulterior motives or appease past attachments, it inevitably corrodes trust beyond redemption, rendering any 11th-hour remorse, public spectacles, or desperate obsession entirely hollow and futile. Furthermore, the plot underscores the harsh inevitability of karmic consequences, where deceitful opportunism ultimately collapses into personal ruin and public disgrace for the perpetrators. Most importantly, the protagonist's emotional journey serves as an empowering testament to the necessity of setting firm boundaries and refusing to remain a martyr in a one-sided dynamic. It emphasizes that true healing and lasting fulfillment do not come from enduring perpetual humiliation or romanticizing late regrets, but from finding the strength to cleanly sever deceptive ties, rebuild one's authentic passions, and embrace a mature reciprocal love grounded in genuine sincerity and mutual respect.